west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. One west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy, it get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nah, but he abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars, I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid, shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance of one west rising to prominent. Cause I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers, but I ride like I got Groupons for Uber. Rhymes hard like they been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. The showstopper been as proper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm growing them off Patron, a premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modified the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's worth the mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they heat's on, none of them can get through the fire around with me. And I had a nigga spin like a tire, but down the D, and I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning, coming through with the title because UPK. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me. I be one west to the death till they bury me. I'm one west till they bury me.
All my niggas ride for me. I got niggas that'll die for me. You niggas ain't built like that. Run around talking like a thug when you won't bust a slug, man. Niggas get killed like that. Acting like you bang for the set when you ain't blood or cuz, man. Blood'll get spilled like
I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah, hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it all. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Hell, I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Then start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen, never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my real view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God don't catch another case.
Like that. Niggas saying really they the plug, but they talking to the judge, man. Get your cap peeled like that. Cause niggas get killed like that. When you ain't built like that. You niggas ain't, you niggas ain't, you niggas ain't built like that. You was never on the block, you ain't never dodge a knock. You ain't never fought another crew holding down the park. You ain't
Shalom Israel, this is ISUPK, start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana since 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up and are indeed the 12 tribes of Israel. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. If you're not in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, you're simply not of the truth. Officer Kazak Shapar, 50, teaching LASHAWAN QADASH class tonight. And we're going to teach some a little topic here also about let's see, we're going to teach LASHAWAN QADASH, and we're going to teach some getting your house in order, and we're going to teach about never become one with the nations. Let's see. Just a few topics of discussion here. And the first thing we'll do is Yahweh Shema Alathah Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema Alathah Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to all the sisters. And we're going to go over LASHAWAN QADASH and what it means. We'll wait for people to get in the chat also. I think we'll have a few people there. We'll wait some more, but as we go, we're talking about LASHAWAN QADASH. It means the language of the holy, or holy language. Or, actually not language, holy tongue. I keep saying language, but, you know, it's the holy tongue. You know, these Christian church get up here talking about they speaking in tongues and all kinds of craziness. Really, it's the tongue LASHAWAN. It's really what it means. So when people say tongue, and when you see tongue in the Bible, all it's saying is another dialect, another tongue. Like in our case, this is Hebrew. We have Assyrian Hebrew right here. Slocky. We have Assyrian Hebrew right here. Assyrian here, and then we have Paleo right here. I'll give you a little background. Look. There you go. Paleo Hebrew right there. Of course, we have Paleo here and Assyrian right there also. And we'll get on this side over here. In Hebrew, you know, there are 22 characters. Well, that's before we start. That's a little history about Hebrew. In Assyria, about that. There. In Assyria, you know, and during our captivity, of course, we were captive there too. We were captive by the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, Greece, Rome. We were captive. So, but in Assyria, that particular empire, they took our LASHAWAN QADASH, which is our holy tongue, see? They took our LASHAWAN QADASH, which is our holy tongue, and told us and made us change our, you would call it alphabet, change our characters. Characters in LASHAWAN QADASH, the word LASHAWAN, let's say for instance, the word LASHAWAN, for instance, is LASHAWAN. LASHAWAN, okay? Assyrians took these same characters, which there are 22 of them, you know. There's 22 characters of Hebrew. Okay, it's Abagada, Hawazaka, Tayakala, Manasa, Apataza, Hua, Ra, Sha, Tha. And that's where we get this. La, Sha, Wa, Na. Okay? And the Assyrian, you know, it's it looks different. The sounds are the same, except for the empire that they're over there right now, since the Balfour Declaration, the fake Jews over there right now took these characters and started putting dots in front of them because they can't pronounce Abagada, Hawajaka. They don't do that. They don't, we have two vowels. We have the ah, like that, or the I. Just like that. The ah or the I. It's ah, ba, ga, da. I'll give you an example, for instance. Here's an ah right here. We'll put it in Hebrew, it looks like that. Okay, in Assyrian, it will look like this. Okay? That's the ah. The I in Assyrian will look like this. I mean, Hebrew, I'm sorry, in Paleo. Oh, let's back up a second here. In Paleo, the top line, ah. The next line is an I. Ah and I. Okay? The bottom line, there's ah, and of course the I here, you know, you guys got to make sure you understand when we're talking. Let's see. We'll make it look sort of like, that's kind of like what I wanted to look like right there. The ah and I, those are your two vowel sounds if you want to say that. Those are your vowels in Hebrew. You're going to have everything that's going to pronunciate or enunciate with those sounds incorporated in them. Like here, you know, la. When you say la, well, if you use the la, it's la, like that. There's that ah sound or the a sound that looks like us. It's actually ah. There it is right there. The Syrians took it, changed the whole form of it. You know, we give you a little brief history as I do every class, and then we'll move on. Then the I, they took, we can say stuff like, see if we have an example. Yeah, we have it right here. We have one right here. Well, I'll have, maybe if I don't have it right here. But if I have, let's see, if I can use a word. I. I'll pick one here. Just a second here. Sha. Wa. Na. The Syrian has an ending character right here, which we use in Assyrian. That's what they made us change our language to also. These ending characters, you know. But in Hebrew, we have what we call the connectors, which makes in Hebrew paleo. We have our connectors. It's LASHAWAN. That way we can take la and isolate it and make it an independent connector by itself. That's why we do. And upside down, a little U. Always trying to do a little demonstration here. So we guys, because you should be doing this every week to study your words, okay? Every week. And of course, the Sha is independent connector. There's another one, same thing. The Sha is by itself, independent connector, because it has one sound. That's what people in Hebrew need to understand. That's why the language is one of the oldest, purest languages, because we can pronounce it and enunciate it real easily. We say Lasha here, I mean, you don't know what to say, but where are the connectors in Assyrian? All we know is at the end of it, that is an N right there. It's a na. LASHAWAN, like this na. That's the only thing we know about that. All there, we know that this is, La, Sha, because it sort of looks like this one. They sort of kept that to look the same. And then Wa, Wan. Man, that doesn't look anything like that. Not picking it apart, just letting you know what the Syrians did, because that's how they wrote things. Now the counterfeit Jews over there right now, like I said, that sits over there now, that ain't the real Jew. We are. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. That's how they do their words. Of course, we'll let you guys make sure you write that down here a little bit. That's how they do their words. Because they really don't know how to pronounce our language. So they go and they take, I'll erase the Syrian right here for a second. Put it kind of like down a little bit. I'll put it above it there, Syrian. Okay, they may do something like this. Le, they may say le. You know, who knows? it may not even be spelled this way, but that's just the way it is, but they'll use something different. Like I said in Aratazar, they may use a word like eretz. And we don't have an S sound. We have ah and I, you know, as our vowels. And then Shah, they may use something like this. Something like this. And they'll make that sound the way they want it to sound. That's what these dots are for. And over here, they may use something like this. Of course, these are fake. Now, I'm putting it on the Syrian language because they still today use these present language characters as their Bible. You know, that's what they use. Because they don't know no better. Because they shouldn't be in our seat. They shouldn't be where we are. But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about why they are where they are in a second here, and why we're cursed. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get into that in a second here. We're gonna find out what happened to us and why are we basically why the Most High say never become one with this heathen right here. A heathen that would devise this kind of stuff. Never become one with this heathen right here. You know, you're supposed to be learning something like this in red here. The paleo. We have to show you the Syrian to show you the mistake that was in captivity, as far as I'm concerned, because the Syrian is not the original. Okay, so let's go and see who's checked in here in class. We got some more people checking in. Kapah Banath from Austin, Texas. Glad to have you, Kapah. Kapah Banath. All right. Kapah Banath, checking in from Austin, Texas. Another LASHAWAN QADASH that we have. Kapah Banath. Okay. So you got your Hebrew name, that's a good thing. That's why when you check into class here, I do begin to see that people get their names. Kapah Banath, and a few others got their names. But like I was saying, elaborate. If you want to understand, that's why the Most High said, never trust your enemies. You know, don't lean toward the other nations. Don't fall for their gimmicks. And see, we have to show you in Assyrian. We read this because part of our writings are left in this right here. Now, not these dots. That's the dots that the fake Germans put on there. But the original language is, of course, the Paleo. And same with QADASH. You get over into QADASH, you have the same thing. Well, we have Qua right here and Dash. Now, why do we put these connectors? Like I'll reiterate again. Connectors, Qua, that is the Q right here. That is the Q in our LASHAWAN QADASH language. I hold it separate labels there. set apart. That's what QADASH means. It means holy. It's set apart. Okay, and da, the D, that's the da. You know, we got two vowels, but da, that symbol there, and that's King David. We'll talk about him in a second here. Well, maybe we won't. Let's see. I have another lesson planned for that, but we'll do that next week. Da. That's what the D looks like, and it's like this. It's da, like that. That's what this is right here. And of course, the Shah, you know, that's this. That's what we have here, and that represents SHAA. And of course, I'm just kind of doing this, kind of guys. You guys write that down. I mean, lock it for a second. Lock it for 1 second here. Okay. All right. It's a little hot in here. Want to make sure we adjust the temperature. But Shah, you know, that's this right here. The same is that Shah. The same as this Shah. Those little W's right there, that is the sound Shah. Right there. Of course, we go over the characters once in a while to show you what things look like in the paleo. So when we start writing sentences like this, like we have up here, you begin to understand where they come from. So we'll erase that right quick. I don't want to get you confused right there, but so everybody know, to reiterate again, we have ah and I, 22 characters. Okay, all of these are characters. Every last one of them, 22 of them, okay? We have vowels, ah and I, okay? Let me see if I can grab a, hold a second, let's see here. Promise I said I would. Let's see if I can grab one here. Let's see here. We may go over some numbers today too. Just trying to get you guys to understand a little bit more, to introduce you first before we move on here. Okay. Yeah, I don't have that right now. But anyway, okay. So let's erase this off the board right here so you understand. Now that you understand how many vowels there are and how many characters there are, we can move on. Let's move on. I'm glad you. Last week we tried to go over the characters and how they look in Hebrew. You know, the reason why we did that is so you get familiar every week, but you need to understand these are things you have to study yourself. Like I said, before we move on, let's do this. Let's go. Let's say ah, ba, ga, da. Okay? Let's do it this way. Ha, wa. So I forgot the one. Yeah. Oh, there it is right there. Sorry. Ah, wa. Then of course we have a za. Okay, za. And then to move on like that, we're gonna have something simple like this. Ka. You see? That's your first, I don't know how many, 1, 2, 3, awazaka, okay? Move this out of the way. Then we have ta. We're doing paleo right now because I don't have room up here to put them all together because I have other stuff on the board. Ta. And then we have ya. This is the paleo. Ta ya, okay? Then we have the la. If you notice that la, see? There it is again, right here, in paleo. The la, see? When we're saying LASHAWAN. Ta ya ka la. Then we have ma. Ta ya ka la. Then we have, wait a minute, have I done all this? Ta ya. Oops, did that wrong. Ta ya, have to have a ka in it, sorry. Ka, then we have a la. Oh, I gotta catch up. Okay. Okay, like that. Well, make this correct here. Like that. So far we have a few going on here, just trying to get it in paleo so you'll understand see it a little better. Tayakala. Okay. Then we have let me see what else, see if I can find some more. I was looking for that word in the eye there. We'll find it here. Okay. I might have it here. Let's see. We'll find it. Kala, yeah, okay. Ma, na. I'll find that I in a second here. Ma, na, sa. Then the sa looks like that. Okay, and of course, you have to learn these. You have to pick up on these yourself. I mean, I show you every week different ways to do it. That's like a ladder, like a half a ladder, a cone, and I illustrate what letters look alike too, so you'll have it a little better and understanding. Okay. Where was I? Abagada hawazaka, ta yakala mana sa. Then you have I. Pa. Then you have pa sort of looks like this, sort of. Ta, I, pa. Then you have taza. Okay? Don't want to get in the way of this. Trying to keep it all up here. Down hard, we got a short board right there. Okay, taza. Then you have qua, like this. Okay. Then you have ra. Then you have sha. Qua, ra, sha. Then down here I'll have to write the tha. Okay? Let's count them. Let's see if that's the case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 down here. So that's correct. We have them all up here. And this is the paleo as it exists today. If you don't have that, give you guys a chance to write that down. Right here. The paleo, and let me write this up a little bit high. Za. Over here. Don't want to get this confused. Right here. Okay? Ha, wa, and of course we have an ah over here. That's a whole nother language there. Just to show you what the paleo in Hebrew looks like. Okay? It's below this line here. Close to the board space. The paleo in Hebrew language looks like this right here. We have ah. Right here. Ah. Then we have ba. We have ga. We have da. Ah, ba, ga, da. Okay? Ah, ba, ga, da. Ha. Wa. Za. Then you have ka. Now we have a couple different ka sounds, so you gotta be careful. But because we have one right here. Right here. Okay? So we have ah, ba, ga, da, ha, wa, za, ka. Now the A looks like sort of a sideways A. Okay? That's what we just said. That's actually one of the vowels, okay? This, as a matter of fact, I'll put that in, let's put this in blue so you really can see the vowel sounds right here. In Paleo-Hebrew, of course, Assyrian, this is not Assyrian. Assyrian looks like this. The Paleo, the one up in red, is what I'm kind of emphasizing here. And then the I sound here, right there. That's I. Okay, and this is the ah. I wrote that specifically so you'll understand. You can see that right there, all right? So you can understand to see what these look like before we move on. Kind of refreshing here so you guys can understand in the Paleo-Hebrew. Paleo-Hebrew has connectors. And like I said, to reiterate again, the connectors connect the sounds. That's what you want to do. You want to go with the sounds. So there's 22 characters to choose from to make a word. And that's what we're going to get here when we get into the sentence right here. We're going to say, is this your house? Hayaza'ah. And we're going to say, your. We're going to use some prepositions here to make your house happen. So we're going to show you how to do that. But anyway, abagadahawa. Zaka. Okay? I'm sorry. Hawazaka. Ta. So we say ta, ya, ka, and if you notice, ya, also savor is good for nothing on that one. If you notice out there that there are two cars, because I want you guys to be able to write this like there's a car and here's a car. You got to understand there's a difference. You know, it looks different. One looks like a ladder, one's like a C with a little line coming out of it. So you got ka and ka. And of course, this is Paleo-Hebrew, you know. And then we have la right here. We're still on Paleo-Hebrew, the one that has the connectors, okay? La, then we'll have ma. As we wait for more people to check into the chat, then we'll have na up here, okay? Then we have sa, that one right there. Seldom used, but it's all nevertheless it's used when you say things like that, okay? When you use sa, that's what it looks like. Then I, there's our the vowel sound right there, I, okay? Then we have pa, okay? And maybe later on in the class of next week we'll emphasize the Syrian because we just don't have the board space. But I just want to let you know the oppressor came up with these symbols. He didn't stray too far from this W look, and some of these, like, if you want to say this wa here and that wa there, I mean, if you put a little stem on this wa, it'll look like that. Yeah, okay. But not really. Okay? And the L, that looks like a 3. Okay, I might buy that. This is like an upside down N. Okay? So in our language. But in their language over here, at the end of the sentence, because it occurs at the end of the sentence, we use this particular N. It looks like a long 7. So it's sort of confusing, but you know, you really have to study. So, abagada, hawazaka, ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa. I, the circle, pa, looks like that. Looks like sort of like a, I don't know, fish hook maybe. Taza. Now taza, unique here. Taza, right here. So we'll say ta. So kind of a long word. I mean, some long letters there. more letters just for that. Tazah. And that tazah right there is in a lot of our words. You said matazarium. We have people in our, we have Captain Tazariot. His name starts with tazah. We have Katazah. His name, Captain Katazah. So like you, sir. Captain Katazah. Then we have a qua. We have qua. Okay? Like we're going to say, like if you say quatazan. I believe that's the word for, is it officer? We'll get into that in a second. Let's see. Yeah. Get my notes myself. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's qua. It's quatazan. So if you want to say officer, you say quatazan. You use this. Qua. And of course in Assyrian, it will look different. In Assyrian, that Q, I just to throw out a Q right there. In Assyrian, it will look a little different, see? It's going to look like this. That Q. Of course, we're not doing Assyrian. Some of our writers are in Assyrian, that's why we had to illustrate it. It looks like a popsicle right there. That's what that Q looks like. It's like a backwards, this is the Ra. Looks like a backwards, I don't know, backwards 4. And one of the children said like back 4. Then we have Shah. Okay? That Shah is right here. It also looks like this Shah. I guess they ran out of ideas right there, so this is what Paleo Hebrew looks like, okay? Then of course we have Tha. We'll write Tha over here. Looks like a laid down cross. So we'll erase it off the board in a second here with guys. There are people out there that's probably been introduced to Paleo Hebrew for the first time. So we'll show you. We're showing you what it looks like. So lock it for a second. Let's look at the chat here. Okay. All right. All righty. And then let's get into this a little deeper here when we find out. Let's use these. All of these up here. Now, I may use Assyrian. In this case, I'm going to try to use Paleo because I have them on the board here. So you'll understand, okay? So finish copying off there, give you a few more seconds there. And we'll let you judge for yourself what they look like. Then we'll show you possessive adjectives. We'll show you where that occurs in a sentence. So if you said things like, is this your house? You know, we'll say Haya, Za'ah, your house. You notice I don't have anything under your, because your is going to be, when a possessive adjective describes this noun here. It tells you possession. Whose house? Well, we say your house. So we're going to use, let's use, yeah, we got blue here. We're going to say ka. And why we use ka? Because that's a possessive adjective. Okay, that's a possessive adjective right here. Really, ka. This whole word is a possessive adjective. Even in our language, in the English language, of course, but the holy language, LASHAWAN QADASH, to make one word out of this, you want to say bayafka. Now, when you're dealing with a house, with a man's house, when you talk to a man and a woman, you don't address the woman and say, this is your house. You address the man. So this is masculine. This is masculine right here, okay? Your house. So this is your house. That's understood that is it's understood, let's get into this right here. It's understood that it's this also. You can also use nawa. This is your house, or you can use our house. Nah. Let's see if I can write it over here. See if you can see this. You can say it like this, na wa. That means our. Bayaf na wa. Well, let's look that up. Let's make sure. Correct. Okay. You can say, instead of saying your house as being male, because it is. You always address the male when it comes to a house, because you want to keep everything in proper order, respect. Unless the female lives by herself, of course. And then let's look it up. Let's look up. Make sure. Let's check this. I remember checking it. Let's just make sure. Let's see what the possessive adjective says for that. I believe it's the same. I don't think it changes for that. Possessive adjective. Because now, of course, we have reading in. Yeah, here it is right here. I believe it's the same. So, because you want to say, is this your house? And of course, the word for house is bayaf, bayafka. So we want to say, is this masculine? Your, bayafka. Okay, so far, all right? Yeah, now I see right here, it's ka, you or your. You know, it's possessive adjective. It's masculine, okay? Now if you want to say her house by itself, you know, it's bayafha. But if you want to say our house, you want to say bayaf nawa. Bayaf nawa. But you know, you can't say ka or ha if it's female. If she doesn't know, she's a virgin, a woman of marital age, a virgin, or just a woman in general. You can say wa. You can say haya za'a. And say for your, instead of saying ka, if it's a female, you can say ha, like I said, right there. Or if you're talking to a married couple, you know, you want to always say your house. Is this your house? It's your house, man? And he may reply something like, yes, Khan, you know, za'a. This is our house. He may say, bayaf nawa, but let him do that. So let's go to, let's put that on the board. We'll let's erase this off. I believe you guys got enough of the characters right there. We'll try to go over this a little bit every week so you'll understand in class. Let's put another sentence up here. We're going to do a little sentence structure, then we're going to go into another lesson here. I like to kind of use LASHAWAN QADASH as a springboard and get into other classes, other lessons, I'm sorry, it's like you. There we go. So we understand. I mean, a lot of people said it's a little different, but this is kind of rudimentary how I do it. Then it says your, ka, ha. You know, you want to say ha. For feminine. Like that. All right? You know, another woman talking to another woman, it's just like this. You may say, your or ha for the woman. This is female. But never when the man's present. You don't ever say that. You breaking up the order, you breaking up the order of the whole house right there when you do that. And everything we do at ISUPK, you keep things in order. Never take it out of there. That's what we have. That's why we have generals. That's why we have captains. One of 13,000, one of 10,000. That's why we have officers. You know, let's write those words down here for a second. Let's write the, since we're on that, let's write down general. A general. You know, like Commanding General Yohana. Right here. Okay, and so we'll say something like to Allah, Allah, wa. Okay, that's what you would say. Then you want to say for a captain, you may say for his name, you may use it's Saram. I think that's it. And of course you have an officer over here. I write it down. You know, we're gonna keep things in order since we're on that right there, because we're talking about so far. We wanna. We'll get to the heathen in a little second here. But right now we're talking about Israel here. Is this your house? You know. And we'll answer that question. So of course you want to put a big old right there. Ask the question. You know, question mark. Is this your house? That's what you're asking somebody. And so we're showing you how you use the possessive adjectives, and we're showing you tenses. We'll get into tenses maybe next week. It's got so much in it we can't get into everything. So Captain Saran, then we have officer. Well, the officer right here. Just one by himself. We'll make it plural here in a second if we need to. It will have officer. We have quatazan. Leave this ta. Qua, ta, za, in. Yeah. Okay. And that's what you say when you say, like, if a general come on deck, you know, alawat, panya. How about Shem Yahshua Brak Atha? Okay, to Commanding General Yohana. First one coming in there. Okay. General Mahai would come in. He said, you go here. Up to attention again. Barak. Then you come, you say, Alawat, Panya, if that's the highest general there. If you have, that's how you do it. You know, we don't do that to the captains that I know of in the Sarans or the Quatazan. But this is the order, you know. And of course we have troopers and so on and so forth, young men. But that's how we do it. And that's showing the order. Because this sentence right here is showing you how to show the order when you're asking somebody a question. Even if, and there are many questions, there are many ways to do this. So you ask people, you know, I mean, you wanna ask, I mean, if they ask you how to do it, say, well, hey, listen, I gotta look up. What is the possession, how do I show the possession for house? You know, by Yafka for man. It's our house. If he wants to say that, if he wants to say, is this your house? Let him answer. He'll say it, and I'll show you here in a second here. Matter of fact, let's get to it. Let's get to an answer that we can have in sentence form. Is this your house? Okay? Over here. I know a lot of people are working, and they're getting off work, and there's a lot of, I get a little water here, a lot of traffic going on out there. Let's answer this. Let's answer it. Then it says, we'll just say something like this. we'll make a comment on it. Let's instead of answer, we'll just make a comment on it. We'll just say something about it. Your, okay, house is, I'll say beautiful or nice. Well, in this case, we'll say B-E-U. I mean, I spell beautiful, I always spell it wrong. Beautiful. Let's see. Yeah, here. Beautiful. Okay? So we're making a statement. Or you can explain it. You know? Boy, I know that ain't spelled right. B-E-A. Jesus Christ. No, I spelled that wrong. Well, let's get it spelled right then. Why don't we? Let's get it spelled right. Yeah, there, B-E-A-U. B-E-A, that's right, I had it right, okay. B-A-U, beautiful. Okay? And so we'll say, your house. Now, what are we really saying here? Let's do this. Your house. So we're saying, we're still talking to the man and the woman together, you know. We're talking to the man and the woman together. So we'll say, your house, and you may say, let's put hawa, let's put this down again. We're gonna use the word over here. For beautiful and nice, we'll say yapa. Yapa. Okay, your house. And then you say, instead of saying, we can say your house, we can say our house. Let's take that one off. So how would we say that? Let's see who's checked in. Let's think about that for a second, because we want to say now we want to keep the pattern going. We have Adrian Clay Ferguson checked in. All right. That's good. Adrian. Okay, now we want to write. You want to say, is this your house? And it says, yes, our house is beautiful. I mean, that's an answer. So, but how would we say that? Because, in other words, let's go back over again. Let's get y'all to participate for a second. If I say haya, za'a, your, for female, it's ha. If it was talking to a woman by herself, you know, but you're talking to the man and the woman. You know, you always address the man in the lead. So it'll say, haya za'a, your, you use ka by yafka. Now he may want to answer it and say, what? He may want to say our house. He may want to say, well, what is the possessive adjective for house? I mean, our. I mean, what word, how do you use that? So we'll say bayath, right here, right there. Same word. See that right there? Same word, but we're going to do something different. We're going to put nawa. Bayath nawa. Why? Because the man is chosen. Now he could have said, my house is beautiful. He could have just said, my house is beautiful. He could have done something like, let's look that up. Let's make sure we got that one right. He could have did something like, what it says. he said, so far he's saying, our house. He's saying, my wife and I. Bayath Nawa. That's the man saying that. So you can always, you're going to put a masculine on that, because our is always going to imply two people. In this case, it's, we're assuming a man and a woman owning the house right here is Bayath Nawa. So that's why we sort of do that. Well, let's see if we can find a preposition over here to make that happen. So kind of use a little sentence structure before we move on here. Yeah, let's go here. Let's go. Let's see what that says. N-I-M ma from, okay, like you say the house, you say ha, you can say the house, you can say, there's a lot of things you can say. You can say our house, you can use the word, if you answer it with your wife, you don't want to say mom. I'm sorry. You want to say, you can, but just say, I didn't mean it that way. You can say that, but what you want to do, if you can, a man can go around and says, my house is beautiful, because he's the male in the house. That's what you want to say, Okay? And let's see, you can say also, the house is beautiful. Let's use another one here. Let's go to this one right here. Let's go, yeah, man, you can say, like slang, you can say, yeah, the house is beautiful. In this case, you can say, you say the or ha. Habayaf. You don't want to use our at this point. You don't want to use our then, or you don't want to use nawa. You just want to say habayaf. The house is beautiful, man. Yeah, it's beautiful. Come on, let's look inside. Or, like I said, you say our house is beautiful. And that's pretty much how, sloppy. If you guys have any questions, type them in on the chat. But it's sort of then you know that the woman, Adrian, and Kapa and all others looking, that you know that when I'm talking to a man, that man would answer, and his wife in front of him, he would say, and I would ask him, say, hey, look, man, is this your house? Or I might say, is that y'all house? But really I'm saying, is this your house, man? That's how it's inferred, masculine. So I say, Haya Za'a Baya Ka. Is that your house? Man, that thing's beautiful. Like I say, he may answer, say, the house is beautiful. It says, yeah, or he may say, our house is beautiful. An officer, Quatazan, he may say captain. There's no telling what he'd say, depending on who he's talking to. So, to just, you can fill up the board with different sentences and what people would say. But what I would say was, I would answer it like this. Instead of saying the, I wouldn't say the, I would say our. But it's your preferential choice. You're the man, but you make sure that you address the man. Ka. Now, unless a woman and woman talking together, then they can use ha. Over here, not this ha, that's a preposition. This is a preposition here, because it occurs at the beginning of the description of the noun. it's telling you. It's prepositions, okay? It said the house, ha. That's masculine. But over here, you use ha as feminine. When you want to say, is this your? You want to say ha. You want to say, I'm sorry, is this your? But you have ha right here. Now that's feminine. When you're talking to that woman alone. But over here, if you're talking in front of it with a male there, it's b'yafka. Is this your house? Or you can say something like, is this your house? You can say, you can include that if you think you know him well enough like that. Is this your house? You can say nawa. When you say bayaf nawa, now you're saying, is this, well, no, I'm sorry. No, you can't use nawa. That's our, I'm sorry. It's like, that's how you answer it right here. It's like, it'll either be male or female. You gotta say your, okay? So it's gonna corny in, I don't know what I thought about. It's gotta come in and say your, so it's either male or female. In this case, it's ha. So, but later, and we use nawa over here. Okay? So we're making sure that, to reiterate again before we move on, bayaf, female is ha, bayaf ha. If you're talking to a female, no male involved. But if you're talking to a male, it says haya, za'a, bayaf ka. Okay? And how he answers it, he can say the house is beautiful. Or he can say Khan. He can say Khan. This is. He can say this. Let's do it this way. He can say Khan. Khan means yes. You can say yes. Or he can say Khan. Because you know he's got his wife there in front of him. Khan. This, or the, you can say this, or za'a, right here. This is our house. You can say our, right here. This, yes, this is our house. And then you can just say, or you can say the house is beautiful. Either one you want to say. I mean, just ways of answering them. So, just thought you'd get an idea of how to use prepositions, of how to use possessive adjectives in the masculine and feminine. And of course, if you had many houses, then well, that's a whole other story. We use the plural form, which, you know, most people don't have a whole, these are your houses, you know. We don't, most people, we don't use that as much, but I'll get into that another time. Okay? So we'll erase this off the board here. Let's get into something else. Let's get into another topic that was titled tonight. Now that you understand something about your Paleo-Hebrew, you understand the sentence structure a little better, you understand a little vocabulary there. Let's get into something else here. Let's get into, let's find out. Okay, never become one. Let's write that down. We're going to say never. Never. When I say never, never. Never become one with the heathen. You know? Never become one. You don't want to learn his ways. You don't want to serve his idols. You don't want to serve his gods. We're going to read about it. We're going to show you where we were thrust and put in that place. Let's find out here. let's look in here. Let's see one place that happened. Let's see. Let's find First Maccabees. Let's go to that book right there. First Maccabees. Let's go to 41. First Maccabees 41 and 42. Let's go to Maccabees 41. Yeah. Maccabees 41. Let's go there. Okay. 41. Let's see what it says. Let's see what this says. We want to get the King James version of it. Period. First Maccabees. Right. There it is right there. King James version. Okay. First Maccabees. Let's find out what we're talking about here. You never become one with your enemy. That's what Israel had a problem doing. Why? Never become one. Moreover, let's read about it here. Let's see what this says here. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should become one people. Lord have mercy. Never become one with the enemy. Never. Akkad, that's right there, that word right there. Okay? Never. Let's just read it here before we break down a few words here. Second. Get that digested. Never come one with your enemy. Get in. There. All right. Okay. Moreover, we find this in First Maccabees 1 and 41. Never become one with your enemy. This is sort of like a theme that I'm using here. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom. You know, one of these kingdoms, that all should be one people. Okay? You know, some king sitting up there, heathen, want to, you know, have that Tower of Babel effect, want everybody to become one. You know, let's finish reading. Her sanctuary was desolate like the wilderness festival days, turn in the morning, her Sabbath approach. Okay, never become one to end it. But this is what he wanted to do, all people to become one. You know, the Most High never told us to become one. He never told us to become one. He wrote that all should become one. Okay? And then let's find out. Let's turn to Jeremiah 10 and 2. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Let's see what the Most High says about that. Let's answer that. Let's see why Most High. Let's see who we have in chat here. What did I say? Jeremiah 10 and 2. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Mino Kais. We don't say Shalom, my man. Okay? In this class we say Shalom. Shalom, Israel, not Shalom. That's a fake name. Okay? You talk to me after class if you need to. We do not say Shalom. Shalom. Sorry, we don't do that. We say Shalom. Let's make sure. Okay? Don't want to put you on the spot, but I am putting you on the spot. Letting you know that we don't say that. Okay? Here in ISUPK, we don't say Shalom. We don't do that. That's not even a word. That's not a LASHAWAN QADASH. It's Shalom. Okay? We'll take it up for after class. We don't have time right now. Just, you know, since you're sitting there, you want to learn, you're welcome. Just sit there, watch and learn. Okay? All right? what I say, Jeremiah. I said Jeremiah 10 and 2. Okay? That's something that one of the fake Israelite groups use out there. That's what we start off by saying. We're 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. We do not use words like shalom. You know, it's shalom. Okay? Let's get to Jeremiah 10 and 2. Let's finish reading here. Let's see what the Most High says about the heathen. Because, you know, King Antiochus wanted us to join people together, okay? He wanted to say, let's just join people together. He says, thus says the Most High, learn not the way of the heathen. Now over here it says, first of all, it says learn. Not. La. In Hebrew. Okay? Alright? Learn not the way of the heathen, and not be dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So, learn not. You know? That's what the Most High is telling us not to do in Jeremiah 10 and 2. The Most High don't want you to do that, and it says, of course, the word for learn is lamad. Okay? And of course, you know, la'ah, we say la-ah. We'll use paleo right here. La-ah. You know, we'll have them connected, we'll join them together right here. And then we'll say, lamad means to learn, okay, in Hebrew. That's what it means. Right? So we say la right here, and then we say ma. Plus we use some paleo, then we use da. Lamad. La. Mod. Just like that. Learn not the way of the heathen. Okay? Let's go to Goya. That says this is they use a word like that, but that's we'll say that. They say Gawaya. Okay? Ga, wa, ya. Okay? Learn not the way of the heathen. We'll put this over here. Ga, and the word for heathen is, we're going to use Ga over here in paleo. That will be paleo right there. That'll be paleo. Ga, then we're going to use wa, then we're going to use ya. We'll learn Hebrew in class here. That's what we use. Okay? Oops. Ga, wa, la. Not that. Okay? So we say ga, wa, ya. So each one of them have independent connectors on them. Ga, wa, ya. Okay? So we learn not the way of the heathen. Why? Because they will misdirect you. They will teach you in a way that you shouldn't be. In other words, they'll teach you, you'll begin to serve idols. You begin to serve, let's write a list over here. You begin to serve idols, okay? You begin to serve idols, what else? You begin to, they sacrifice the sons, the sacrifices, let's put that word down there. We'll look that up. Sacrifice, okay? Then we'll use, let's find out what the Most High said about this. let's look at, let's look at Deuteronomy 28 and 36. Let's go there. Let's go to Deuteronomy 36. How do we get into the concept of even learning the way of the heathen? You guys write it down, so I can say it. Lock you for a second here. Okay. All right. Let's find out, how do we even get into that? How do we start? I mean, what happened? What happened? So let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 36. Let's go there. Deuteronomy 28. Let's go 36. All right? I know from time to time, people like to come into class and they like to learn. I don't have a problem with that. But when you do address the class, make sure you use, if you don't know, ask the question. You guys, the first thing you want to do, I'm an officer of ISUPK, officer 50, okay? And one of the first things you want to learn is how to at least greet somebody. Say shalom. Not shalom. That's not a word. That is not LASHAWAN QADASH. Don't know where you get it from, but it's part of the fake Israelite groups. If you're trying to get into class, you can write down your name. If you're trying to get a little bit further, we'll get you to keep checking the class, and we'll get your name, and we'll find out, put some information about yourself. I'm assuming that you're Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, and we'll show you how to get into class to learn properly, okay? All right. What I say, Deuteronomy 28 and 36. Let's find out what it says right here. 28, 36. All right. The Most High. This is what the Most High said. This is how we got into a lot of this mess. How we never become one with the enemy. Antiochus wanted us to become one. The Tower of Babel wanted us to come out. The Most High put a thorn in that. Put a quagmire in that. Changed it. They want everybody to be one. We're not. The Lord has 12 tribes. Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. We don't need to be one with the heathen. We don't need to be a cod or one with the heathen. That's that word right there for one. That's the number. One, a cod. Okay? Let's see what the Most High said. The Most High shall bring thee and thy king that thou set over thee unto a nation which never thou nor thy fathers have known, and there thou shalt serve other gods of wood and stone. That's why the Most High said he didn't want you to become one. Because look what's happening. But because we're cursed, because we had a curse put on us, let's find out. Let's take it further. Deuteronomy 28. You're going to serve gods of wood and stone. And y'all put it up. And what are some gods of wood and stone? Write it down in the chat, guys. Some gods of wood and stone. So that's another one we can put on the board. Why you don't want to serve the enemy. Or what he will cause you to do. Of wood, okay, and stone. What are those gods? I mean, what's an example of a god of wood and stone? What's an example of an idol? Write it down in the chat if you remember. Well, we talked about this from week to week. Idols, wood and stones. Some idols, and we'll get into that in a second here. Let's find out what the Most High, what was that curse, and how do we get involved. Let's look at this. Learn not the ways of the heathen, because we showed America learn the ways of the heathen. He said he's going to set a king over us in Deuteronomy 28. And what was that? Where were we at? 28:36. Going to set a king over us. And look at all these presidents they got set up over us now. Serving their gods, voting, going to their church, the Christian church, going to that Christian church. That's what the king wanted you to do. That's why the Most High didn't want us to get involved with this heathen. Never become one with the enemy. Never do that. Or the heathen, okay? And the Lord shall scatter thee among, Deuteronomy 28:6-4. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people. Among all of them. You get a drink of water, slide. There's some people, a little bit. A few people. No, he said all people. The Most High will scatter us, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, among all people. Every last one of us, okay? From one end of the earth until the other. And there should serve gods, other gods. Okay? Other gods. Other, which thou know thy fathers have known. Even wood and stone. Here we go back with that wood and stone again. To shortcut it for you. The wooden cross, the cobblestone, the Muslims, the cross of Christianity. Those are the gods that we'll be serving. Sacrificing to them. Sacrificing our children to them. Putting them out there. Letting them go to these churches and learn the gay movements. That's a sacrifice to send your child even to a school that teaches your child to be gay. Okay? We serving them up. Much less serving them up with the blood sacrifice. We are sacrificing them, just giving them to the heathen. That's a sacrifice right there. Okay? So let's see. Let's finish reading this. And we'll read that in a second here. Which neither thou nor fathers have known, even wood and stone. Okay? Let's see. Let's turn to Psalms 106. Let's turn to that. Let's turn to Psalms 106 right here. Let's find out what it says. Psalms 106. Okay? Psalms 106. I believe it's, let me go to 35, I think. 106 and 35. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I don't know what to start with. Because they provoke his spirit, we provoke the Most High, so that they spake on adversity with his lip. Okay. Verse 34. They did not destroy the nations, because we did destroy the nations when we were supposed to, when we were supposed to be doing when the Most High told us to destroy these nations right here. When we had a chance to do it, okay, destroy the nations concerning the Most High commanded them. He commanded them to destroy these nations. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. So when they mingled among them, we lamad, we learned their works. That's what we did, okay? And look what we got to show for it, living here in America. Okay, we learned their works. And verse 35, let's see, verse 36. Psalm 106, verse 36. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Most High playing around. You see, because he told, let's go back and read this again here. Let's go back and read this. In Psalms 106, he says, they did not destroy the nations concerning who the Most High commanded them. What does that mean? Most High said, destroy them. I mean, even King Saul, didn't destroy the enemy that the Most High told him to destroy. And what he had to do, fall on his sword in shame and ignominy, publicly, killing himself, falling on his sword, probably scared David was going to take him over. But see, we didn't do what we were supposed to do. When the Most High says destroy, he means it. He's a man of war. When he says, a lot of people don't believe that. Let's look that up for a second. Let's before we go back to 106, let's go to that right there. A lot of people don't understand. That's why a lot of people think he's all peaceful. He's supposed to live among everybody and not destroy anybody. And let's find out here. Man of war. Let's see right here. Exodus 15:3. The Most High is a man of war. Okay? The Most High is his name. Yahweh is his name. The Most High is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So when he says Saul or y'all, David and all y'all, look, destroy this enemy, we should have. Maybe we wouldn't have been in this position that we are in now. That's why we serve and sacrifice our children, serving gods of wood and stone, idols. Let's go to Exodus, the 20th chapter. Yeah, let's go to Exodus. Let's go to Exodus, the 20th chapter. Let's see what the Most High says about who he is. Let's find out verse 1, verse 2. Verse 1. And the Most High spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Now, he brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. That's what Egypt means. We were bondage. We were bound, man, beaten, stricken, many stripes. You know, with Moses, that right there, because we're bound here in America now. The Most High said in Deuteronomy 28:68, which we'll go back and read here, that he's going to send us to the same bondage again, where we're going to be serving our enemy again. It says, never become one with the enemy. Akkad, never one, not one. Don't become one with him. But you can't. You got to separate it from him. But dog, okay? And say, learn lamad. Lamad. Learn, not la'ah. The way of the heathen. Gawaya, the heathen. Okay? Where are we at? Let's go back there. Let's go back to the commandments. Let's see. Let's go back to verse 3. He brought him out of bondage. Then he said this, thou shalt have no other God. No, you just have a few. You have a few idols. You have a God of the cobblestone. No. What did the Most High say? Let's see what the Most High said. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Do you think he was just playing when he said that? If you think he was playing, look at us here in America right now, serving the king. Joe Biden. You know, Trump. For God's sake, a woman, Nancy Pelosi. What are we doing here in America? Sending our kids to school, sacrificing them to idols of wood and stone, letting them beat their tambourine in the church, walk down the aisle and walk backwards and do a pimp slap and jump over a chair, talking about, I got my cross here. You know, I got my cross. Or I got the Muslim, cobblestone. You know, walking around there all day long, walking around a stone. Gotta visit Mecca. I gotta do it. These ideas came from the enemy or the heathen. And that's he came from this heathen right here. This guy with Yah. Never become one with the enemy. Never. He's gonna mess you up. Don't become one with him. Okay? Let's finish reading. All right. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or likeness or anything that is in heaven, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath. The Most High didn't want you to go and make a graven image like this graven image right here. Some of these Christian churches get into all this, you know, this graven image. The Most High never told you to worship that graven image. This thing right here, that is not Christ. That's a graven image. Okay? That's what we got in trouble for worshiping this beast, this devil, a.k.a. white man. That's not the Most High. That's not Yahushua. That's not Yahushua. Yahushua is a black man. So let's throw him on and pop. Let's throw that heathen on the ground. That's not us. That's not who we are. You're not supposed to be worshiping gods of wood and stone. Okay, let's find out. You're not even supposed to be learning his ways. You know, lamad. You're not supposed to be doing that. Not lamad. Not learning. Okay, let's read verse 5. Exodus 25. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them, for I am the Most High, thy power. I'm a jealous God. I'm jealous. Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children of the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Okay? And then he goes on for, don't take the name in vain and so on and forth. In other words, don't bow down to him. That's the main thing. That's what the Most High is trying to tell you not to do. Let's go to Habakkuk. I believe it's Habakkuk 2:19. Let's see what these little idols can do for you. Y'all want to worship them. Let's see what the Most High says about it. What did I say? Habakkuk? Habakkuk 2:19. All right. Let's see what that says right here. Oh man, that's a good one right here. Habakkuk, the prophet. He says this. Woe unto him that said to the wood, awake. Now how you going to take some weight, a piece of wood, a cross? You know. How you going to do that? Then it says, let's finish reading. Woe to him that said to the wood, awake. To the dumb stone, this little cobblestone that they marked around, you know, all these little trinkets that the Catholic Church, man, they got thousands. Who knows how many idols over there in the Vatican? Once the Catholic Church started, pick a religion, pick one. You want one, pick one. Have it your way, Burger King, just pick one. You don't like the Catholic Church? Go to the Baptist Church. Satisfy. It's all idols. It's all sacrifice. It's all wood stone. It's all heathenistic. It's all paganism. It's the enemy. Don't become one with them. Woe to him that said to the wood, awake, to the dumb stone, arise, and it shall teach. Now, how is it going to teach that you don't learn anything? It can't. Because this is sarcastic right here. Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver, and there is no breath at all in the midst of it. My goodness. The Bible is telling you in Habakkuk, in the book of Habakkuk 2:19, it ain't got no breath in it. This is not Yahweh. Okay? This is not, you ain't got no business making the Most High jealous by worshiping idols and sacrifice yourself and your children, the Bible says. Okay? Of wood and stone. You ain't got no business doing all of that. So he says, never become one with the enemy. Okay? You don't want to do that. All right? All right, let's see. Let's see what else we got here. Psalm, sacrificing sons and daughters to the devil. Yeah, we read that one. Breath, okay. Enemies, suppress, okay. Psalms 106:42. Let's go back there. Let's go back to Psalms 106 and 42. Okay? So you can understand. And that's what's wrong with a lot of these fake Israelite groups out here. They take hold of Christianity without even knowing. All of this idols and sacrifice of wood. Instead of like using words like shalom. Where do you get that from? It's shalom. When you come to ISUPK, you'll learn LASHAWAN QADASH so you can understand how to state things. You can understand how to say the word correctly. You can understand right here. And I said that, brother. I'm not getting on you in that sense, but I'm letting you know. You want to get an ISUPK, you check in, put some information there, and we'll get hold to you. We'll give you a number, that number right down on the screen. Actually, that's lucky. That number right down on the screen right there that you see in our class, you call that number. Okay? One of the officers will pick up and they will address your needs. So you can learn how to spell shalom, so you can learn how LASHAWAN QADASH, so you can know how many characters they have, so you can know how many vowels they have, so you can know that there's a Syrian, so you know there's a Paleo. Listen, don't be stuck out there. Come on in. Commanding General Hanna bids you to come on in here. Come on, get off that street, get off that shalom stuff. And come back to the ISUPK. See? He demands all camps to come to the ISUPK. Because that's where you start from anyway. Okay? So, let's do this. Where are we at? Psalms 106. Slacky about that. Psalms 106. Okay. right. 106 and 42. Let's see what Psalm 106 and 42 has to say about this. All right. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Listen, how you going to learn? How long is it going to take you to learn that you can't worship, become a part of this heathen or this enemy? How long are you going to do that? When are you going to do that? When are you going to understand that you don't want to be oppressed? When are you going to get it off of your mind that the Most High, when He put us into this captivity and this curse over here and Egypt the second time on these slave ships, He meant that we were going to go through, sacrifice our children, wood to stone, because of our disobedience. Okay? Part of our disobedience is breaking away from His directive in 1969 under Commander General Yohana. You know, the Most High put ISUPK here to teach. Okay? To teach and tell us about shalom. You know? Peace. You know? Not shalom. He put all this together. He followed the directives of the original people that started ISUPK under the Most High's directive. There was always people whom the Most High has always put on this earth to make sure we go straight. It's rank, it's order. We just talked about it. And generals, and captains, and officers. Alawat. Okay? We talked about it. Saran. Talked about it. Quatazan. Those officers, those captains. You'll learn all that in Hebrew. You'll learn it. So you don't know what I'm saying. If you don't know what I'm saying, that means you're not ISUPK, because we just got over it. Or you certainly don't know if you go around saying shalom and it should be shalom. That means you missed something right there. And if you miss that, you miss everything up here. Because you don't get this teaching right here. You know? You don't get it. Okay? Let's go back. Let's read, I think I got one more here. There was one that I wanted to find where it says, never trust thy enemy. I think it's in the, I can't remember. It's in the Apocrypha. It says, never trust. I can't remember what text that is. If one of the officers know what that is, you can tell me. I think it's, what was it? Was it Maccabees 12 and something? But I can't remember. Anyway, never trust thine enemy. The Bible says never trust thine enemy. As sure as iron rusteth. That's what, let's see if I can find that. If one of the officers can help me out, that's fine. Let's see. Never. Let's see if I can find that. Under here, let's think it's in the Apocrypha. But you need to get an ISUPK. Oh, there it is. Let's see. There it is, right there. It is. I got it. Got it now. Got it. Most High. Let's see. Let's find it. Ecclesiasticus. That's what it is. 12. I had 12, right? 12 and 10. Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. Let's take the time. I think we'll springboard here. And, I'm sorry. Springboard. We'll finish here. We're going to do some finishing here in a second here. And we're going to end up on this right here. This will be my last one. It says in Ecclesiasticus, you know, the Apocrypha is set right there between the New Testament and the Old Testament, 66 books, you know. So, the Apocrypha, they tried to take this from us, the Catholic Church. You know, it means hidden books. They took it, slid it out of there. 66 books, and then, of course, the Apocrypha makes it more. They just tried to take it out. So it's right there between the 66, right there between the old and the new, and so it's more than 66 books, okay? The Ecclesiasticus is one of those books. 12 and 10. This is what it says. Never. Ah, there it is right there, see? Never. Now I got never become. Let's put exactly what it says up there. Well, I was just paraphrasing it as a theme, but there is a text that fits exactly what I said. Never trust, and I said never become one with the enemy. This text is actually saying never trust thine, or in Old English it'll say thine, but it's really meaning thee. Thine enemy. Ecclesiasticus, okay? Never trust thy enemy. Now why never? Okay, because it says, for like as iron rusteth, you know iron, piece of metal. A piece of metal gonna rust, sure as your name is SHAWAN. Sure as your name is SHAWAN. Sure as your name is, a piece of iron will rust. If it's oxide, if it's exposed to the weather, if it's exposed even inside, it's got moisture, iron, that's the nature of it. As sure, let's read it. As for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you never trust your enemy. You don't turn your back on him. You don't sacrifice your children. You don't put no idols up there in front of him. You don't sacrifice him. You don't sacrifice. You don't worship the wood stone. That means you don't visit you don't visit the Christian church. Because it'll make you move on to any other church you want, and all of them are false. Never. That's the enemy. That's his mark. His mark is his sacrifice, his wood, his stone, his idols. All of that is never trust thine enemy. He tell you, the Most High says it right here. Let's read it again. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. That means as sure as some iron gonna rust, you can bet your name. As sure as that iron gonna sit out there and rust, because a car rusts. If you let it sit out there, no matter how much paint on it, you let it sit out there in the elements, especially if you got some rain and snow, it's gonna rust. If it will rust, the Bible says right here, as for like as iron rust, to give you an analogy, for like iron will rust, that's his wickedness. He has wickedness. Like iron will rust, he is wicked. Like iron will rust, it is his wickedness. So let's read it again. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You can't trust him. And that's what we've been put under in America here. We've been subjugated and put to the mess test of learning up under that enemy. The Most High is telling you to come out of there, to get with ISUPK, get a flyer, okay? Get in class. We have classes here in South Carolina from Monday through Friday. We have Sabbath class on Sabbath morning, about 9 or 10 o'clock. Okay? Then we have camp that we go on. Okay? We say shalom, peace. And that's what we do. And then we go out here in our boots, strap them up, and we get into camp. But you never trust thine enemy. Okay? So come out of whatever you in out there, especially these fake Israelite groups. If you in one of them, come out of it. Get into the ISUPK. Okay? Get in the ISUPK so you'll have an understanding. All right? And I think we'll let that be the last talk. The last scripture that we're going to use. We're going to get into our announcements. We're going to get into our announcements. Thank the Most High. Now, if you enjoyed the class, you can clap it up. You can put it there for the Most High. ISUPK, Commander General Yohana, for teaching us so that we can share with you LASHAWAN QADASH class. Okay? ISUPK, security announcements. We, all the ISUPK, started off 1 West 125th Street Hall in New York. The rule for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into school, they are off limits for 6 months. They'll receive learning. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. Okay? After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After 6 month period, the brother and the sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. This is the book of Numbers, 18 and 21. Malachi 3, 8 and 10. Okay? Means 10th in the Hebrew, in Mashra. And when you keep coming to class, we're going to show you. That's what we showed you. A card is one. We'll show you. Asarah means 10. We'll go through the numbers. We'll count all the way up to 1,000, past 1,000. Anyway, Ma'ashara in the Hebrew means the 10th. 10% of every penny of increase the Most High gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for the priest. It's not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upholy convocations. Well, the next the next convocation that we will have, holy convocation, okay, upcoming, that we're going to have is Purim. Purim. The 14th day of the 15th day of the 12th month. Thursday, February 25th. Friday, February 26th, 2021. You find that in the book of Esther, 9:31. Of course, we'll have the Passover. It's already been announced. Get with your camp leader. And hope you had fun in class. Hope you understood. And for that, we say, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai to all my brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatha Hashem, Yahweh Shai, all my sisters. And ISUPK. Shalom.